Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be talking about the 2024 GMC Sierra HD. Before we get into this video though, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Let's get into it. So this should actually be a pretty quick video because we already talked about the 2024 Chevy Silverado HD, and in that video I said that the GMC Sierra HD would be a carbon copy, but it would have GMC badges on it instead of Chevy badges, and that's what's happening. So exterior styling is slightly changing with this new Sierra HD, especially when you look at the front end and when you look at the back, and especially when you look at the front end. The headlights are different, the grille's a little bit different, but you would not be in trouble if you thought that this was the same truck that you can go and basically pick up at a GMC dealer today, because it's not a huge difference. But I think that overall it looks a little bit more modern, it looks a little bit better. Let me know what you guys think about this facelift is the best way to put it. Now, big changes are coming to the powertrains. So first off, with the 6.6 gas V8, it's now getting a 10-speed automatic just like the Silverado, and this is a huge improvement because this powertrain is actually pretty powerful. It produces 401 horsepower and then 464 pound-feet of torque, but with the current truck as compared to a 6-speed automatic, that's just garbage. I've reviewed a bunch of trucks with this engine. Well, when I say a bunch, I think like 3 or 4, and every single time it's just always disappoints me because it's like this engine feels so powerful, but then it's never like in the right part of the power band when the truck gears down, all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't, that 6-speed just doesn't work. So this new 10-speed should fix that, and that's what GM is saying. They're saying that it's going to make it so that it's a lot more efficient, and then it's in the right part of the power band so that it just feels better while driving. And so it should make it so that that powertrain is actually more popular with people. So moving from that to the diesel engine, the 6.6 Duramax V8, it has some pretty decent power output improvements. So we're going from 445 horsepower to 470 with this new powertrain, and then we're going from 910 pound-feet of torque to 975 pound-feet of torque. So those are actually big increases year over year, and the powertrain is also supposed to be just a bit more efficient compared to the previous generation version. So solid. And when I say previous generation version, I'm talking about the truck, not the powertrain, because the powertrain hasn't fundamentally changed. They've just kind of tweaked some things with the powertrain. And this is supposed to slightly increase towing. And so now if you get a truck that pretty much everyone orders, so crew cab, short bed, and 2,500 or 3,500, you're going to be able to tow almost 22,000 pounds. Now, if you guys are wondering, right now those trucks with the current setup can tow about 20,000 pounds with the conventional trailer. So being able to tow almost 2,000 pounds more, not quite 2,000, but almost 2,000 pounds more, is a pretty solid improvement. It looks like payload capacity has pretty much remained unchanged, which makes complete sense because, again, the truck didn't change all that much. It's not like they've built up a new platform or anything. This is, again, more of a refresh rather than a full-on redesign. Now, moving from the exciting stuff to the more exciting stuff, in my personal opinion, the interior is completely changing with this truck, just like what happened with the half-ton. Again, they're taking all of the new interior bits and throwing it at the HD. So we've got a new digital gauge cluster, we have a new large infotainment system, and they're changing the seats slightly, and then also the door panel. So, like, again, if you've been in a new 2022 GMC Sierra 1500, then you've been inside of a new GMC Sierra 2500 and 3500. But the real exciting news, in my personal opinion, is 2 packages. So we are getting a Denali Ultimate just like the half-ton, and we are getting an AT4X just like the half-ton. Now, the Denali Ultimate, again, is going to be a copy of what we have in the half-ton. So you're going to have like the speakers and the headrest, the really nice leather seats, the really nice leather on the door panel and the dash, and the massaging seat function, and just the full-on luxury truck makeover. So that's pretty well known. The AT4X, on the other hand, we don't really know what's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to have multimatic shocks, if it's going to have front and rear lockers or just a rear locker. There's a lot that's up in the air. We don't even know what the tire size is going to be. I think in an ideal world, considering the fact that the GMC Sierra is a HD truck with independent front suspension, that this AT4X package should have multimatic shocks, because I think that'll help out quite a bit with ride quality off-road. And also, it still utilizes leaf springs too, which is really important because leaf springs make things really bumpy off-road. And it should have a front locker, because not having a solid front axle like the Ram Power Wagon and the new Ram HD Rebel and then the Ford Tremor is going to basically make it so the Sierra is at a slight disadvantage from an off-road perspective because it won't have as much front end articulation. But if it has a front locker, I think that'll kind of even things out a little bit. I wouldn't expect a sway bar disconnect or anything like that, like what the Power Wagon has, because again, this will be a truck that's meant to be able to tow, and GM knows that most people that purchase these off-road package HD trucks don't actually take them off-road, so they just want to dress it up, make it look the part, but then not necessarily have to perform the part all the time, right? That's what automakers know at this point, especially with these, like I said, with these HD trucks. So overall, this is definitely a step in the right direction for the GMC Sierra HD. It's going to make it so that you can get an interior that's just as nice as a Ram 2500 or 3500 Limited, or an F250 or F350 Limited or Platinum with that Denali Ultimate package. Now, the last thing I want to go over is pricing. So GM hasn't released official pricing yet, but I review trucks every single model year. Doesn't matter if there's a new release or not. And so I get to see what the pricing is on a pretty consistent basis with trucks. And right now, if you order out like a fully loaded 3500, not a dually, but just a regular 3500 GMC, then you're going to be around like $90,000 for the MSRP. And that's obviously before crazy dealer markups, because there are still markups on these GMC HDs, believe it or not. So with the new truck, it's definitely going to be at least that expensive, if not more expensive, because this is a 2024, so we're going to have some time for the prices to slightly increase until this truck is released. But on top of that, with the new Denali Ultimate package, that's going to probably put things up into a whole new category. So don't be shocked if you see a window sticker on a new GMC Sierra 2500 or 3500 that has 6 figures in the price tag, especially if it's a dually. I'm sure it's going to be well over 6 figures, probably 110, maybe even with the Denali Ultimate package, maybe like $115,000 plus. Yes, we are officially in the world where these pickup trucks now cost as much as what houses used to cost back in the day, and how like house prices that I remember back in the day when I was younger, and I'm only 25 years old. That's how crazy these truck prices have gotten over the last little bit. I want you guys to let me know what you think about the new GMC Sierra HD, and if you're considering purchasing one, and what package you're going to get. I guess the last thing I'll say, I think the sweet spot with this truck is probably going to be, if you want luxury things, the regular Denali, not to the Denali Ultimate, and then if you want that cool off-roader look, probably the AT4, because those two packages won't command the same dealer markup price premiums as the Denali Ultimate and the AT4X, and they'll probably just be a little bit easier to get because GM will just produce more of those packages. I'll see you.